All right, so we're looking at worksheet A17. We're breaking down our square roots. There is a front and a back. You should have, so look, I can cover SpongeBob up here. Fabulous. You should have your squares, your perfect squares to help us on this worksheet. So I'm going to jump in with number 2 here. Now, your goal is to find the biggest perfect square. And I am looking for you to show the work here, not just your answer. So make sure you're showing the work. But when I look at the number 320 and I'm trying to find the biggest perfect square, I have to start working into this problem. What's half of 320?
160.
160. Look at that. So basically, if I want to find the biggest perfect square, I have to divide it evenly. 2 is the smallest thing I can divide it evenly by. So anything below 160 is fair game. So take your calculators, and this is what you guys are doing. You're taking your calculator, and you're actually taking 320 and dividing it by 144. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not going to work. All right, that didn't work. You can't really see that well. Is that any better to see? 320, and we're going to divide. Okay, I know it's not going to divide by 121 because it divides by 120. I know it's not going to divide by 100. Well, I want to do one of the bigger numbers with you. Is it going to divide by 81? My guess is no, but you would be trying these unless you're sure. Okay, does it divide by 64? Oh, well, there you go. So you want to try everything. Now, here's the thing. 320 also divides by 16, and it also divides by 4. But if I want the biggest perfect square, that's why I started high and I worked my way down. And it does divide by 64. Now, we are using this rule, guys. I'm going to jump to this step, that it is 64 times 5. This is where you can jump to, but what I need you to understand, sir, what I need you to understand is it's really me rewriting 64 times 5 underneath the radical. So 320 is 64 times 5. And then we're using the rule that we can break it up. If you remember, that rule was the square root of AB equals the square root of A times the square root of B.
Yeah.
Now, I like to put my perfect square first. What is the square root of 64?
7.
I'm going to go with 8. And then bring down the square root of 5. So you can say 8 square roots of 5 or 8 times the square root of 5. All right.
I add that.
That's fabulous. Now pick another one on this page to do.
1, 3, 4, 5.
Number 9. All right. Look at number 9, 343. What's half of 343? We'll figure it out. Half of 300 is 150. Half of 40 is 20. So I'm going to look like 170 something. Okay. So anything under 169 we have to test. So take your 343 and divide it by 169. Does it work evenly? Okay, then start working through the list. Take 343 and divide it by 144. You're literally typing in the calculator.
Wait, what one are we doing?
We're doing number 9.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's showing on the screen. Take 343 and divide it by 1. Maybe you should go to your seat up front. I know it's not going to divide by 100. How about 83? Or 81? Nope. How about 64?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Nope. How about 49?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes. All right. So 49. So it takes a little patience. Now, you might start down here and work your way up, but you have to make sure you found the biggest one. All right. The perfect square is 49. And what's left over? 7. Factors are 49 and 7. There's other factors of 343, but I only care about the 49. What's the square root of 49? 7. Keep the square root of 7. All right, let's look at number 10. So do you understand why I'm cutting it in half? The smallest thing I can divide by is 2, which actually I don't even care about because it's not a perfect square. But I want to cut it in half. What's half of 105? 52 and a half. So anything under, well, we're not using that. That's just my cutoff. If I divide by 2 and I get 52 and a half, then anything under that number, I'm going to try to divide this by.
25.
Okay. Nope. 25 goes in 100, not 105. 49 doesn't work. 36. 25 doesn't work.
4.
Nope.
9.
These would, and if you multiply by an even number, you get an even number back.
9.
Nope. None of them work. So this one doesn't break down. but you would have to exhaust all your possibilities. Okay, go ahead and flip it over.
Let me do one more
That's why we're flipping it over.
on the front.
So we're on part 1, worksheet 2. There's another lovely SpongeBob picture.
Yeah,
Ugh.
on the next.
What? Pick one. What would you like to do?
7.
Number 7?
Yeah,
All right, 162. What's half of 162?
35.
Yeah, I'm going to say half of 162 is not 35. Half of 162 is 81, which happens to be a perfect square. Okay, if it wasn't 81, we would try everything below it. So square root 81, square root 2. What is the square root of 81? So you keep the 9 and then square root of 2. All right, give me one more off this side.
Number 9.
All right, number 9. Listen, I don't think that's on your list because you might have only gone up to 12 or
No,
14.
number 9, number 8.
So the first thing I'm going to do with number 9 before I take all this time to try to break it down, it's not on my list, right? It's too big.
No, it's definitely
Is it a perfect square?
Don't look at 18.
Square root of 324.
18.
It's 18. So before you go and mess with this and try to break it down, you should always, always see if itself is a perfect square. All right. Yeah, see, you would have found, if you broke 324 down, you would have found 81 times 4 go into it. Well, 81 is a perfect square, and so is 4, right? Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 4 is 2. What's 9 times 2? 18. All right, you wanted to try 8?
Yeah.
All right, what's half of 252? What is it? Okay, so take your 126. Anything under that, try 121. You're literally taking your calculator, taking 252 and dividing to see what works. Now, there are other ways of doing this. We're using our perfect square list. Another way to do it is to make your factor tree and then find the common multiple and build that. Anybody getting anything?
Yeah.
What?
36.
It is 36. I'm actually going to fall out of my chair on that one. 36 times what?
A lot.
No.
4. 5.
I'm going to go with 7.
7. I'm kidding.
All right. So 36 times 7 is 252. What is the square root of 36? So it's 6 square root of 7. Okay. The other way to do this is to take your 252 and to then break it down. What did we say it was? 2 and 126. And there's a perfect, or there's a prime number. And then you keep doing your prime numbers. 63. And then this would be what? 9 and 7. And then 9 is 3 times 3.
Sure is.
So what you would do is say, oh, these two, I have a 2 squared times a 3 squared times 7. And anything squared would be part of it. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 times 9, there's your 36. So this is another way to do it. I think you guys might like the list method better than factoring this down, or doing a prime factorization. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. All right, so get working on this. You understand what I expect to see. I expect to see what you used as a perfect square, what was left over, and your answer. Got it?